Let's talk about a sneaky little secret that's been quietly shaping your success without you even noticing. Welcome back to BetterMe. Today, I want to introduce you to a psychological plot twist that's almost like life's hidden cheat code. It's called the Pygmalion Effect. Don't worry if that sounds like a spell from Harry Potter. It's actually all about how your expectations can turn into reality, not magic wands or invisibility cloaks. Stick around because this concept might just be the missing piece in your self-improvement puzzle. First off, let me tell you what the Pygmalion Effect really means in plain English. Here's the gist. When you expect more from someone or yourself, chances are they'll deliver more. It's a loop that feeds itself. Your beliefs shape how you treat people. The way you treat them changes how they see themselves, which then affects how they act. And guess what? Their actions reinforce your original beliefs. It's like a psychological boomerang. Picture this. You're coaching a basketball team. You've got two new players. Let's call them Mike and Larry. Mike reminds you of that college star you used to admire on TV. The guy with the killer crossover and the winning smile. Larry? Well, Larry kind of gives you flashbacks to that one kid in middle school who always forgot his homework and talked way too much in class. Before you even blink, you're already setting the bar. Mike? You expect him to be the next MVP? Larry? Meh, you're not holding your breath. So naturally, you cheer for Mike harder, spend extra time drilling him on his free throws, and give him those golden nuggets of feedback. With Larry, you're barely paying attention, maybe even sighing when he messes up. Here's where it gets interesting. Your actions are like tiny little nudges shaping who Mike and Larry think they are. Mike feels your belief in him. He starts believing he's the star player, works harder, shows up early, and suddenly his game is on fire. Larry feels ignored and doubted. His confidence shrinks faster than your patience on Monday morning. He slacks off, misses practices, and guess what? Your original thoughts about them? Boom, confirmed. This isn't just a made-up story to make you feel guilty. It's based on solid research from Robert Rosenthal, a Harvard psychologist. He ran a study where teachers were told certain kids had extraordinary potential, though the kids were just average. By year end, those kids outperformed their classmates simply because the teachers expected more from them. So, what does all this have to do with your own self-improvement journey and how you manage your time and focus? Honestly, everything. Because the same invisible loop that plays out in our relationships plays out inside your own head every single day. See, most of us don't realize it, but we're in constant dialogue with ourselves. Tiny internal statements like, "I'm not good at this," or "I can't stay focused for more than 5 minutes," might seem harmless, but they're not just thoughts. They're instructions. Your brain listens, and it adapts accordingly. Now imagine if a friend said to you, "You're always distracted. You never finish anything." Would you feel motivated? Probably not. You'd feel small, drained, maybe even a little defeated. But when that same judgmental voice comes from within, we don't question it. We just accept it as fact. That's where the real danger lies. If you keep telling yourself you're bad at focus, or that you have no self-discipline, your brain builds a story around it. And stories have power. They shape how you act, what you attempt, what you avoid, and eventually, who you believe you are. But here's the flip side. This works in your favor too. Start shifting that inner dialogue, even just slightly, and you create a new loop, one rooted in growth mindset. I get distracted sometimes, but I'm learning how to stay with one thing longer. Boom. That's not delusional optimism. That's self-improvement in motion. Because the goal isn't perfection. It's awareness. And this is where emotional intelligence becomes your secret weapon. The ability to notice your patterns without shaming yourself, to observe your triggers without letting them control you, to hit pause when your thoughts start spiraling and ask, is this thought actually helping me or hurting me? That's powerful. That's personal development that sticks. Think of emotional intelligence like an internal GPS. It doesn't prevent wrong turns, but it helps you reroute before you end up 60 miles off course running on empty. It's you becoming your own life coach, not the kind that screams rise and grind at 5 a.m., but the kind that says, hey, maybe you don't need to do it all today. Let's focus on what actually matters. And here's the surprising part. When you become more emotionally attuned, your time management improves too. Because you stop saying yes to every obligation out of guilt. You stop packing your schedule with stuff that impresses others but drains you. You learn to protect your energy, your attention, your peace, and suddenly you have more time for what moves the needle in your life. That's the kind of discipline that doesn't burn you out. It builds you up. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into the usual, I'm behind, I should be further along, I suck at this narrative, pause. Breathe. Then say something your future self would actually want to hear. Because the relationship you have with yourself, that's the longest one you'll ever be in. Might as well make it a kind, honest, and motivating one. All right, now let me throw something at you. And no, not a book or a yoga crystal. I'm talking about the idea that your thoughts might actually shape your reality. It's called the law of attraction. Sounds mystical, I know, but at its core, it's pretty down to earth. What you focus on, you tend to attract more of. Not because the universe is some cosmic Amazon Prime shipping your wishes overnight, but because your mindset quietly influences your behavior, your energy, even the way you interpret your day. If you wake up expecting the world to be a mess, chances are you'll notice every red light, every rude email, every coffee spill. Your brain's like, ah yes, proof life is terrible, thank you. But if you expect things to work out, not perfectly, just better, your brain shifts. You pay attention to the small wins, you respond to setbacks more calmly, and without realizing it, you start behaving like someone who trusts things will improve. And often, they do. That's the real engine behind the law of attraction. It's not magic, it's focus. It's choosing your thoughts like you'd choose what to plant in a garden. You don't plant weeds and hope for roses. You plant the belief that effort matters, that growth is possible, that progress is worth expecting. And then, you water the hell out of it. Think of your brain like an antenna. It sends out thoughts like radio signals, and guess what? It tunes in to whatever's on that same frequency. If you're broadcasting doubt, fear, and self-pity, well, you're not picking up sunshine and breakthroughs. But start tuning into hope, effort, and possibility, and suddenly, you start receiving a different signal. Now, before you roll your eyes and mumble, sounds inspiring, but I've got bills, deadlines, and a coffee addiction to manage. Hang on a second. Here's the kicker. Start small. I mean tiny. We're not trying to move mountains on Monday morning. We're just nudging a pebble here. Use productivity hacks that actually match your lifestyle. Maybe it's setting a 25-minute timer and pretending you're on a cooking show called Focus or Fail. Or maybe it's embracing a bit of minimalist living. Less clutter, more clarity, fewer hours spent searching for your car keys. And listen, this isn't about jumping on the latest self-help bandwagon with a journal and a green smoothie. This is about using practical tools to build momentum. Every little act of self-discipline, every time you do the thing after your brain whines, adds a brick to your personal development foundation. Over time, those bricks turn into something sturdy. And bonus, your brain health improves too, which means it gets easier to focus, resist shiny distractions, and remember why you walked into the kitchen. Think of it like training a puppy. You wouldn't expect a golden retriever to sit, stay, and write an email after one command, right? You'd teach it, repeat, reward, mess up, try again. Same with your brain. Treat it like a lovable mess that responds to repetition, kindness, and snacks. Feed it positive expectations, wrap it in a growth mindset, and watch it slowly stop chewing your metaphorical slippers. Whether you're chasing study motivation, personal growth, or just trying to keep your houseplants alive past week 3, this works. And really, who wouldn't benefit from a little more, hey, maybe I can do this energy in their day? But here's the thing. This whole effect, it goes both ways. Just like positive expectations can lift you up, negative ones can quietly pull you down. That's why it matters who you let into your mental space. Not every opinion deserves rent-free access to your self-worth. Be selective. Choose the voices that encourage your growth, not the ones that clip your wings. As the Stoics might put it, control what you can, your thoughts, your reactions, your next step. That's where your power lives. And if you like a dash of philosophy with your coffee, here's one worth holding on to. Stoicism isn't about shutting out emotions. It's about not letting them steer the ship. Expect progress, not perfection. Lean into daily Stoic wisdom, little reminders to stay steady, stay grounded, and maybe even smile when things get tough. Because self-improvement isn't this shiny, flawless journey. It's messy, honest, and full of small wins that add up over time. That's personal growth. And honestly, it's kind of beautiful. All right. Before I let you go, here's a little life hack for staying motivated. Next time you catch yourself thinking, I can't, flip it to I'm learning. Celebrate the small wins, keep the expectations positive, and watch how your productivity skyrockets. That's the Pygmalion Effect in action. Your expectations are literally your superpower. Thanks for hanging out with me on BetterMe, the place where self-improvement gets real, but the vibe stays chill. If this video gave you a boost, hit subscribe and share it with a friend who needs some positive vibes. Join me next time on BetterMe, where self-improvement is serious, but we don't have to be.